sales, and it's how you actually take practical information and apply it to what you're selling, but to have more fun with half the ratio. So if you knew what your sales ratio was, 1 in 20, let's say, you have to dial, talk to, approach 20 people to actually get one sell. And if that sell makes you $1,000 and you want to make $10,000 a month, you now know that you have to talk or approach 200 people every month to make your $10,000 a month. Now, I promise you that every job is like that, right? There's a number. Every single job has a number. So what I would do is I develop these techniques using the Wilson technique so that you could actually see, you know, I don't know why they would put a pole in the middle of the room. Keep winding around it. Sorry about that, monkey. Oh, and then you couldn't see. Yeah, I know. I keep moving so I can try to get in front of everybody. But so the Wilson technique was really great because it was the first time that I actually understood that whatever your position is, you're going to eventually adapt. If you're not already there, you're going to eventually adapt to what you do. So if your job requires you to be amiable, you're going to learn to be patient and friendly with people, or you're not going to keep that job very long. Makes sense, right? But if your job happens to be an engineer and you're really good with numbers and logic and order and organization, then you're not going to want to go out on the front line and deal with customers because they're going to frustrate you. It's very simple, it's very logical, and I like that because I was actually 90% analytical when I started working with entrepreneurs. I was a math major. I was one of those silly people who would run numbers in my head. Took one of the first computer science classes in Chico they ever did. I used to read 6-level paper tape, write in COBOL. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, I taught myself HTML. I'm a numbers person. I am very analytical. But then I started working with entrepreneurs. And within 5 years, I went from a 90% analytical to 51%, 49% creative. Isn't that cool? Did you know that you could change your brain where you're not going left brain, right brain? You can actually focus on which side of the brain you're using. How many of you do something creative? Very good. So having a right brain, left brain balance is very healthy. So if you feel like you're more left brain, you know, your job makes you think logically and that you do a lot of things logically, things are very analytical to you, try doing something like get out watercolors or, you know, get a airbrush set and play around. Who cares if anybody ever sees it or if you ever frame it? Although I have to tell you, you actually get to the point where eventually you do frame things. So one of the things that I do is I make my clothes. I made this outfit, I made my jewelry, and that helps me on my Sunday. I come to a grinding halt. I don't want to think, right? I want to do something like watch old movies while I'm sewing and just take a break. Because what happens is on Monday, then my creative juices are flowing, and I really enjoy that. So the last 6 weeks, I haven't been able to do that, and I really missed it, right? So yesterday, I did so many stupid things. It was ridiculous because I hadn't been engaging my right brain, so I didn't have that brain balance. And most people don't realize that unless you actually balance your brain, this is just for you. Wanted to know about the brain, right? So unless you balance your brain on a regular basis, your brain ends up feeling like it's lopsided. So you want to do things that engage your right brain. Now, you can actually go out in the garden, and that engages your right brain because it doesn't require you to be logical about the way the garden is. If you take a walk and you look at the trees and the flowers, you notice the different colors, that's engaging the right brain. So how many of you think that you're actually in right brain at this moment? Okay, so there's this really cool little Aikido technique. For those of you who were here last month, you actually remember this, right? So all you need to do is take one knuckle and hold it against the right side of your nostril and blow out gently and see, just notice the flow of the air. Now take the other nostril. How many of you actually had more air flowing from the left side of your nostril? Right? So you are in right brain, right? right brain connects to the left side of your body. Now, this is what's really cool. Let's say you wanted to do something creative. It's Sunday morning, and I want to make an outfit. And I'm looking at the material, and if I'm analytical, I'm going to think, well, logically, that looks like a blouse. But how can I go from logic to knowing how I can create something that I'm going to like to wear? So this is a great technique. You know, on your collarbone, if you follow the collarbone about halfway across, doesn't matter if it's left or right side, there's a little indent there, and if you push it on its sword, then you know you found the right spot. You got it? Elaine, did you find it? I'll find it for you.
You'll put me in pain.
Yeah, I will put you in pain. So what you do is see the collarbone here, and you follow it, and you can actually see there's an indent. Feel that sword?
Oh,
Yeah. Anybody else not find it?
Where?
I'll find it. So, see the collarbone runs from here, and you feel that indent right there?
Where is it?
Right, feel the soreness?
Shoulder.
Yeah, collarbone, you know, right below.
I was thinking more.
Yeah, you're right here. Yeah, the soft spot below the bone.
There you go.
Yeah, you can feel, yeah, the pressure point, you can feel it kind of sore.
Alright, but that's too far. See, this is the collarbone here, you feel that soft? There, you got it. Alright, so this is a gland that actually protects you from the toxins, right? The air that you breathe, the water you drink, the food that you eat has toxins. You know, we use pesticides on all of the vegetables and the things that we're eating. So the glands are what protects you from absorbing those toxins. That's why it's sore. So if you want to go from left brain to right brain, you start on that gland and press as hard as you can. 12 o'clock, go to your left shoulder and rub in a circle. As hard as you can, not that softly, hard.
What was
On your left side?
Doesn't matter which side, she was just being really nice. No. You want to make it sore, because what that does is it actually engages the brain and the gland. Now, check the nose again. See how it
Which
switched?
side should you have more hair on?
It's not that you should or shouldn't. If you want to be right brain, then the left side of your nose has to have more free air. So right brain, which is mother energy, is connected with creativity. Left brain, which is father energy, is actually the logic.
But doesn't alternate nostril breathing do the same thing?
No.
No. Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I missed what these had to do with clearing
This
your nose.
shifts whether you're left or right brain. So if you know, oh, I'm in left brain and I want to be in right brain, all you do is do this circle for about 30 seconds and you'll flip from
But
left
will
brain.
that flip how much
Mhm.
air you have from the other,
Yeah.
back to the other side? So if we said we had more air on our left side after going like this, then should we have more air on our right
The
side?
right side,
So it'll actually flip this?
yes.
No, it should be the left nostril.
It doesn't have to
No, it
be
doesn't,
left.
just the other.
Oh.
It's just,
The other
it's the
side.
other one, right? So it doesn't matter whether it's left, it doesn't matter if it's right, it's whether or not you wanna be right brain, then you have to have the left nostril having the most free air. Right?
Yeah, got it.
So that's a really cool technique, because when I sit down to write, I wanna be in right brain, because I wanna be creative, I wanna engage my right brain to be creative. But if I have to sit down and do my accounting, which I never do, guess why? Because I can hire it out, right? Why do anything that you don't enjoy? Right, it's a rule. And how many of you are in business? How many actually have a business? Right, when you're in business, if you can hire it out for $200 an hour, you can't afford to do it yourself. As long as you spend that time doing something that's marketing income generated, right? And I would like to plant the seed that all of you should have your own business.